G'day folks, it's your friendly neighbourhood Cortezerino. I kind of feel like Spider-Man because I'm working on the castle and I don't have ender pearls or elytra, so it's very tricky. I'm using netherrack instead. It's great fun. Now the reason I'm working on the castle, the reason I'm working in my single player world actually is we've just had the big open weekend on the theme park on the Diamond Society server, and they are restoring things on the server at the moment, so I can't get on to play. So every time I can't get on the server, I tend to do something here on the single player world. And I did say it was about time I got to working on the castle. But I haven't got far. Like these walls were already up, and all I've done is started doing a few more pillars. So it's going to be a bit of a weird castle actually, because it's not going to look like you would normally see other people do, because it's more of a gateway. So I've got my base and stuff just down there, but this is going to be like the start of a bridge. So all this land mass you can see over there, that's going to be a great big bridge off to a city that a small town that I will be building eventually. Let's get up a bit higher. So I've got the farming community down in the valley, but I plan on doing a small fortified town, town city. So this castle will sort of be one of the entrances to it, and I'm going to build it on that plateau over there. So it's going to be pretty defensible. I think I'll only have one other way in, and there's a cave system that sort of goes down through there. So that will be cool. But the reason I haven't gotten very far yet on this build, and I'm stuck in a ghost block. Come on, let me out. Oh, I might log out and get that now before I end up with a piece of netherrack just sitting there for no reason. There it is. Bye-bye. So the reason I haven't gotten very far is I was thinking about how I wanted to detail this build. So I've done these walls in a particular style, which is I've just repeated over and over. So just these columns. And I was playing around with this thinking, well, I have to do something different now. But I decided a while ago that this was going to be an ice-themed castle, because I've done the ice theme on the inside. But I started building these walls before I came up with that idea, so it's not very icy. So the plan is now I'm going to build the castle up all in this same theme, but I'm then going to cover it in snow and using like ice and packed ice, do big, what do you call them, stalactites or some icicles hanging off the castle everywhere, and all these dirt areas where I've just been building it into the hill, I'll change that out for snow, so it'll be like a huge snowdrift. So the whole thing's kind of going to look like a magical ice giant has come along and pooped all over everything, but pretty poop, not stinky poop. So the reason I haven't gotten very far in this build is because one thing I'd put into the design of these castle walls, I had intended to have lava flowing down behind these cobblestone fences. So at night the castle walls would glow, and it would help keep beasties away, and it would look pretty cool. But lava's no good now that I'm going with an ice theme, so I still want light behind these, but there's only really one light source I can think of that's going to go with the nice theme, and that's sea lanterns. Now, if you've watched my Xbox World Tour, you'll know that draining the ocean monument is something that I never ever wanted to do again. But I want pretty walls on my castle. So I've been doing some experimenting, and the thing with Frostwalker boots, if you just walk on the ice and try and melt it, try and mine it up, it'll melt too quickly for you to mine it. For some reason, it takes forever to mine. But what I've noticed from wearing the boots for so long is if there's no light source to melt the ice, it'll stay as ice forever. So I covered up all the light and I got a haste 2 beacon, and it was still really slow to mine the ice up. And it was also doing a weird thing. It was kind of like a block update, where sometimes you'd mine a block and then the block next to it would turn back into water, and then you've got to back off on your frost walker and come back in and to freeze it again, and it was just taking too long. So then I tried rigging up all these dispensers full of lava buckets so I could flick a lever, they'd dispense the lava and turn the water to cobblestone, and then I could mine that up. And that was a bit slow too, because as you get deeper and deeper, it takes longer and longer for the lava to get down and then to go away. And so you mine one level and you're going back up, and you're just thinking, gee, just dropping in some sponges would be so much quicker. I thought about using the TNT duplication glitch to mine out that cobblestone instead. The bummer thing there is, like, I was dropping TNT into the lava, but lava's like water, it just makes the TNT blow up nothing. So then you get the same problem, you got to wait for the lava to disappear, and you can only drop one TNT at a time, because otherwise they'll start pinballing each other, and yeah, so I'll just jump into a creative world and show you some other stuff I was trying. So I had this crazy idea of, what if I could just use pistons to push all the sponges down into the water at the same time, and then we wouldn't have to partition anything. It works. Like, I've done it a couple of times here. So where's my lever? You'd have to flick the lever, they all push down, and then come along, take the sponges away, put them in the furnace, add some blocks, and then push again. You see, I've done a few. I've done like 3 blocks. Obvious problem that I kind of didn't think of before I built this. Look how many sponges are involved in this. So I would have had to partition off areas anyway. And I put a lot of thought into the layout of these sponges to get an optimal way of draining it. And these pillars on the side as well, they help to drain it properly. So then I started thinking, oh well, we'll try partitioning a few areas, smaller areas, and see how that goes. And this is quick. But then I realised, if I'm going to go to all this trouble, why wouldn't I just put a bit of sand in these gaps and then drop down with the sponges? So pretty much every idea I had was a dud, and then I looked on the Minecraft wiki to see if there were any ideas there, and everything I'd been trying was mentioned in the wiki, so I wasn't even being original. So I don't know. So sometimes it turns out that the most obvious way is probably the best. There's a very good reason why you see people partitioning off small areas using sand and then dropping down with the sponges. It is the quickest. Like, the amount of time it took to set up this is ridiculous. In fact, there's only one way of doing it that's quicker that I discovered than doing that partitioning thing into small segments. And that is to not drain the ocean monument at all. So let's head back to my survival world and I'll show you what I've been doing. I've also got to change this tunnel because the pigmen keep spawning on here. So going down here in a boat, it's nice and quick, but you're constantly bumping into the dudes. And there's a cool tunnel on the Diamond Society I saw. They've got rails down the middle, because I guess the guys can't spawn on them, and then iron bars on each side to hold your boat in place, so you can just zoom straight off and not have to worry about all these guys. And then I figured for this turn off, I'd have the rails turn in that direction, so if you're going this way, you take your minecart, but if you're going straight on, you take the boat. That's the plan. That's something I will one day get around to. So the ocean monument is down this way. So this is the portal to the ice spikes. And when I found the ice spikes, that was when I found the ocean monument. I just steered clear of there. I thought, no, not going there. So didn't bother to make a tunnel, but it's down here. and let's have a nap, because creepers blend into that sugarcane really, really well. So why has he got sugarcane? This was my idea for a guardian farm. Now, just ignore all the sand partitioning I've got here, because I figured if I am going to do a guardian farm, it's me. You know, I'm going to do it well. But I haven't drained any of this yet, because I wanted to test my idea for basically a ghetto guardian farm. One where none of this sand is required, so you wouldn't put a big border around the outside, you wouldn't drain anything. You just have these, and I'll hold shift because I don't want to get blasted into there. There's lava down there. You have these big sugarcane pillars, and the fishies just swim in there, and they can pass straight through the sugarcane, and they drop down and get collected, and yes, see one down there, and sent off. Go away. Sent off into the lava. And let's just shoot down there and have a look. So I've just made 2 here, which I think's pretty good amount for a ghetto one. So I guess if you're doing this without draining the monument, you definitely set up the beacon first. Having a beacon with regeneration and strength, like going in there and killing the Elder Guardians was walk in the park. You know, so if you want to know how to defeat an ocean monument, get a beacon. That's the way to do it. Now I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so I figured if you're going to go the ghetto option of not draining anything except a little bit on the inside, so you can build your collection points for these little tanks, I guess you'd call them, I don't know. You'd probably do a big AFK platform in the sky, so only guys up the top area here would spawn, and you'd have to stop shooting me, doofus. I can't do 2 things at once, and you're breaking my concentration. You'd probably have to measure how far it is from where they're getting killed, and I think 124 blocks up in the air, and that's where you'd put your AFK platform. So let's head down, and they're everywhere. It's it's pretty condensed full of guardians here, because I drained the inside of the entire thing. And I drained the inside of this before I made those sugarcane pillars. That was a mistake, because the guardians were everywhere. Like, I haven't drained underneath yet, or anything around the sides, but yeah, so if you want to make the sugarcane pillars, build them first, then this, because they're so hard to build while you're getting shot constantly. So here they are. They just pop down here, and even though, like, you see they're not flowing in because there's so many areas I haven't drained yet, but I have been getting a bit, you know, and so I've just rigged up a pretty basic item sort of here. So the first one's just for crystals, and then the next 3 are all doing shards, next 3 for fish, and then the last one's just any sort of overflow will go into there. So we've got one here. So, yep, as a ghetto farm, it does work quite well. And, like, you wouldn't build this on a server, because I know from experience, you'd be building something and people rush off to the ocean monument. They only want to AFK for 10 or 20 minutes and then come back. So you wouldn't build this on a server, but for a single player world where you can just leave it running every night if you want, an AFK, this is probably all you need. And as far as killing them wise, like, I know you can drop them through multiple levels of lava, but I just wanted to try this. It's just 2 block space, then a level of lava, and they bounce around, and that keeps them on fire. I don't know if any items are getting destroyed. Like, I don't think so. Like, I'm still getting them, so we could be good here. Like, it's not cooking the fish, so I don't think it's destroying them. I had intended just to drop them straight onto magma blocks, actually. And then when I went to test that, these guys don't take damage from magma blocks. I don't know why. They're not a nether mob, as far as I know. Oh, maybe they're not classed as an overworld mob because they live under the water. I don't know. It could be just because they're bouncing around. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to do a bit in here. I've started clearing out a bit of space, but yeah, the server's the #1 priority. I just wanted to get some sea lanterns, and I might just take a few, and we will... I thought I had a whole bunch here. let's make some up and we'll take them back to the castle wall just to check out what they look like. $18. That's not much. I probably should AFK, but my Minecraft has a tendency to log out all by itself. So I come back in and I've only AFK'd for like 20 minutes. So I do plan to be doing a lot more here. You can see I've got some netherrack down there. This is where I'm going to build... I should have something to eat. This is where I'm going to build another one of these sugarcane tanks. And then on each side, you see I've started some netherrack there. That's just so these guys can't shoot me while I'm building. And I'll build that all the way up on the sides. Oh, you really need that regeneration beacon. I'll build that all the way up on the sides, so anyone that swims towards the edges will fall in as well. And then I'll leave all of this water here, but where I've partitioned this, I'll drain this section. So I don't have to drain nearly as much as most people would. Like, I'm still taking shortcuts, and I'm draining a big grid around the edges as well. So, and I still have to drain underneath. But you know, I've got sea lanterns pouring in, so I'm going to be getting them while I work. And this is just extra sugarcane in case I run out. I don't know how much I'm going to need. As far as placing this sand goes, like, you've probably seen this. Like, I know Exuma showed it on one of his episodes. It's the auto sort of sand putter in place thingy. I don't know what to call it. So basically you sit here placing sand blocks against this piston, and it'll push them along, and it'll only reach a certain amount of blocks, and not as many as this. I've knocked out one of these guys, but these guys, just when it reaches the extent that the piston can push the sand, this will grab it and pull it along a little bit, and as will this one. And then when you reach a corner, you just put down a little thing, and I've knocked out most of the redstone here, but it just turns the corner and sends it off, so you can do the whole square just sitting in the one spot. Now, it does take a while to set these things up, but they're pretty basic, and once they're set up though, you just place your sand, and the way I was doing it when I ran out of sand, I'd go and grab some more. Like, I didn't do all my sand mining and then start this, so I just had my sand in this chest, and this dropper would fire sand at me, so I could just sit here placing sand, and I'd go make a coffee or something and just keep an eye on it. When I ran out of sand, I'd go mine some more. So in the end, like, it takes longer to set this thing up and then place it all than it would if you just placed it all by hand. But like, I placed this inner ring by hand, and I noticed a big difference. So by the time I finished this outer ring using this machine, I felt good, like it wasn't a grind. So I went straight into placing this by hand, and I was like, yes, ocean monuments aren't that bad, this is easy. And by the time I finished the inner ring, I hated ocean monuments again. So definitely go for these things. And the dimensions you want to go for, once you set up your little thing here, so you place the sand over the torch, sends a signal, pushes it off, and you can place the next one. You want to count 11 blocks in between this piston and your first one. So, and I might build it, so I'll grab the materials we're going to need. So you want an 11 block gap between this piston and your first little bit of machinery over there. So count this torch area as 1. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then on the 12th you put your slime block, and you would not want this sand here on our training. And if it was creative, I'd just toggle downfall, but let's go have a nap. Okay, the rain has stopped. So you have your 11 block gap, and then on the 12th block you put your slime block. Make sure there's nothing that this slime block's going to grab onto. And then I'd walk beside it on my little netherrack pathway, and I'd count out 3 from here. So 1, 2, where that torch is, number 3. And I just come up 2 like that, and across 1. Then redstone block on top of that, sticky piston, slime block, redstone block, and then I could dig down here, and I've left that bit of netherrack there so I could go sticky piston. Then what you have to do is just power this so it grabs that slime block. So just place a bit of redstone next to it like that, get rid of it, and now it's all set up ready to go. And if the thing jams up while you're using it, like you got the spacing wrong or something, you will have to reset these and dig out that sand. Oh, and it's really weird. It leaves like one pillar of sand here like not done. And I was thinking, oh, I'd have to come along later and do it by hand. But once it reaches the end and I can't push any further, it kind of starts going backwards and filling in all of those spaces. So that was pretty cool. And yep, don't know when I'm going to get around to actually finishing this and making it super efficient. I probably will have to do that soonish if I'm going to get the castle done, but I'll probably be jumping back on the Diamond Society server for the next episode, so it might all be done off camera. Oh, and you do an 11 block gap just for that first section, and after that it's a 6 block gap between all of those, what would you call them? Funny slime blocky redstone-y things. Yep, that's a good name. Now while we're heading back to the castle, I just thought I'd mention I am getting very, very close to 50 subscribers. I actually had 50 for about 8 hours, and then someone decided they didn't like me anymore. So, but 50 subscribers means we're going to need a 50 subscriber special. And I was trying to think, what could I do that would be special? Probably not a Guardian farm, because I hate it so much I don't think I'd be able to get too invigorated about it. So that's why I'm doing this one now rather than saving it for the special. But what I was thinking, I could do something that I just wouldn't be able to do if I had, I don't know, 100 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers. I've decided to take requests for the 50 subscriber special. So whatever you want me to build, and it will probably be on the Diamond Society server. So I'm building the big adventure map, which is cool because I can put absolutely anything in there. But so if you want me to build, I don't know, like maybe it's some redstone-y thing that you're having trouble with and like to see my take on it. Like this windmill build, that was a suggestion from a subscriber. You know, just throw things at me. Like you can, and feel free to troll me as well if you'd like. Like say, yes, for your 50 subscriber special, Cortezerino, why don't you build a city? Well, it's got to kind of be something I can get done in one episode, but I will try. Like, I may change the city to a collection of small huts, you know. I may alter things a bit. I might try and combine builds. Like, if two people give me suggestions that I think, well, I could wrap both of them into one build, I might do that. But anything you want. To say, Cortezerino, build this for your 50 subscriber special, and I will do my best. I'm going to call the episode Build Everything. But depends how many suggestions we get. If we get 1 or 2, it'll be a breeze. If we get tons, it'll just be more interesting. So let's give these guys a look. Can't see it. I may have to wait till night time to get a good look at this. Let's put a few more in while we wait for night time. So any ideas you have or things you want me to build for this 50 sub special, just put it in the comments of this video or in any of my upcoming videos. You know, it may take me quite a while to get to 50 subs, or I might start going backwards like I did just earlier. I'm back on 49 again. And, oh, you know, if we're really lucky, we'll get to 50, we'll do the special, and then I'll go back to 49, and that just means we get to do another 50 sub special. Maybe I should do like Star Trek films, like one good episode, one bad one, and then we can have 50 sub specials forever. No, that'd get a bit boring. Okay, I'm just going to stop recording because I'm waffling, and we're going to wait till night time and have a look at these sea lanterns. You know, night is approaching, and I just realised it's really tricky to get back to my base. It's a bit of a gauntlet through there, so we may have creeper holes pretty soon. And maybe I shouldn't have put the sea lanterns in next to the lava, because that light's sort of throwing things off. Well, they don't stand out heaps, but the building is glowing, which is kind of what I was after. Yeah, no, that's good, because if I'd used lava there, that'd be all red and it wouldn't go with the ice theme. That's cool, that's exactly what I wanted. So thanks for watching, guys. That was my sugarcane powered Guardian farm. Not the most brilliant design in the world, but it does mean I don't have to drain a really large portion of the ocean monument, and if you wanted to, you wouldn't have to drain it at all, except for maybe just inside the temple. So cheers from me, I'm Cortezerino. See you later.